Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Midgard Golf. And we're out here today playing the back nine, of course, continuing from the last video on Indian Creek Golf Course in Hood River, Oregon. Just a lovely course out here, wood-lined pretty much the whole way, absolutely like zero plains holes out here. Tons of pine, smells fresh with the mountain views in every direction you look. Just absolutely gorgeous. Kind of a short course, though. It's only tipping out at 62.24, and we're playing it from a couple tee boxes up at 55.66. So, yeah, by all standards, real short. But pretty tight, like basically everywhere. And plenty of blind shots all over the place. Some of them off the tee box, some of them off the middle of the fairway. Yeah, a whole bunch of difficulty to make up for the lack in yardage, that's for sure. And the green complexes are awesome, very tricky, all over the place. So super cool, enjoying the course so far, and excited to share the back nine with you. And if you're excited to see it and you're liking this content, throw us a like and subscribe. You know we love your company as always, and as I've mentioned before, I've got some really great content coming your way after this video here. And we're coming back to Colorado Springs for about a month here for a couple of rounds, 4 nines, up at Flying Horse, a private venue out here in Colorado Springs. Pretty rare to see on a vlog, that's for sure. So that's going to be really cool. And then after that, I've got a bunch of content from St. George in Utah, Mesquite, Nevada, a course in Bishop, California, that's actually the course my pops grew up on. And then one of the courses I grew up on, for 9 holes of it anyway, back in Reno, Nevada at Lake Ridge. So a whole lot of great content coming your way. So without further ado, though, let's get to it for this back nine out here at Indian Creek. So starting off with just a little baby par 3. Tips out at 133 yards, and we're playing it at only 119. And if you're playing it from 1 up, that's also 133. So tips are the same as 1 up here. But 18 handicap on the course, and yeah, that's pretty much right. I mean, no matter what tee box you're playing it from, it's a real short shot, and downhill at that. So for us, it's only playing about 105 or something, 110. Back of the greens, so slightly a little longer than that, so far as how the hole is playing today. But really the only thing you don't want to do is miss long. That will be a real tough second shot for you to try to get up and down from, no matter where the pin's at. So short, you're fine. A little bit left, you're fine. A little bit right, you're fine. As far left and right as you'll likely miss for any skill level out there for how short this hole is. So I really wouldn't worry about much. So, without further ado, I have the 56-degree wedge in hand. Let's give it a rip, send it way up in the air, and see if we can't stab this green. Let's check it out. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 11th hole. Going from the shortest hole on the course to the second longest hole on the course with a big par 5. Tipping out at 528 yards and playing for us at only 478. So as par 5s go, still pretty short, but it's a short course, so it is what it is. And of course, this is the number 6 handicap on this course. So yeah, I mean, not a whole lot to worry about here, especially off the tee box. Pretty straightforward. One bunker to the left, another one bunker to the right. The one to the left is a little bit shorter than the one on the right so far as length down the fairway. But either way, not a whole lot of trouble. And then as you get up to the green, though, that's kind of where the trouble sets in. You got one lone bunker there, kind of to the left of the green. And then you've got a little lake to catch your ball if you have an errant shot kind of short right of the green. So you can't see it from the tee box. Might not even be able to see it from your second shot. But yet, lo and behold, it's there. So you definitely want to stay off that right side. Then again, if you go too hard to the left, then you're going to be in some pretty heavy tree line there and have that to deal with. And if you really snap hook one out there, then you're going to be in some residential terrain. So not good. But apart from that, not all that challenging of a hole. Definitely enough room to grip it and rip it, in my opinion. But if you tend to miss to the degree of more than like 35, 40 yards left or right, then maybe you might consider ironing this hole to death and just turning it into an easy 3-piecer. But apart from that, you definitely don't want to go long of the green either. That's kind of a treacherous uphill shot from there. So as you attack the green, you're probably going to want to favor missing left or short. And if you end up in that bunker to the left, well, that's unfortunate, but not all that scary of a bunker, so you're probably going to be just fine out of it anyway. And as you can see out in the distance there, that ominous cloud that's rapidly rising, just as we started playing this hole, that is indeed a forest fire. That started just as we got to this hole, so we're like, oh shoot, are we going to have to evacuate this area? That's pretty close, but we did not. We finished the round, and it was just fine for us, so no worries there. But if you're camping, setting fires, for whatnot, be careful out there, folks, because there's a lot of destruction that follows that. So, without further ado, let's give it a rip and see what we can do on this beautiful par 5. Let's check it out. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 12th hole and the number 2 handicap on this course, hardest hole on the back nine. So, I'm not really sure if I agree with that. In my personal opinion, I think that number 17 is harder than this hole, and that ranks at number 4. I might have swapped those two out if it was me rating this course, but nevertheless, that's what they've determined, so that is what it is. Let's see here. At that, it is kind of a lengthy par 4 so far as this course is concerned. 391 yards at the tips, playing the same for one up. And for us, only playing at 285. So maybe that's why I think that, because there's a whole lot of yardage reprieve playing from our tee box here, that's for sure. So if you are playing it from the tips, then you're going to have to clear the very same lake that came into play on the previous hole, off to the right side there. So you've got that as forced clearance. Apart from that, though, with the obvious heavy tree line off to the left, you definitely don't want to be there. But you've got adjacent fairway, which is number 11, the hole that you just played, off to the right, so you can miss right quite a ways, so that's fine. But if you do end off to the right side, then you're going to have kind of a tricky shot up onto this green. So while your ball will be safe, your ability to strike and hold the green thereafter will be quite the challenge, that's for sure. So I'm saying if you can pipe one pretty straight and kind of keep it center or maybe even to the left side without getting into those trees, that's going to give you the best approach up onto this green, as you've kind of got sideboard support off to the right, and then it slopes off a little cliff, if you will, off to the left side of the green. So yeah, if you're shooting at it from the right, you got to deal with the cliff. If you're shooting at it from the left, now you've got kind of sideboard, maybe even backboard support, depending on how far you drive it down the fairway there. So there's that. Apart from that, though, no real bunkers to speak of, so you don't have that to worry about. So, without further ado, driver in hand, let's give it a rip and see what we can do on this beautiful par 4. Let's check it out. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading to the 13th hole. Just a 310-yard par 4 for us, tipping out at only 326, and the number 10 handicap on this course. So right in the middle. But yeah, and obviously not very long, that's for sure. And yeah, but a seriously hard dogleg right. I mean, like 90 degrees from the turn there. And there ain't no clearing it, really, because, yeah, those trees off to the right-hand side are definitely way too tall for anyone to be able to skyjack those and make the distance. So forget about that. You're going to have to play this hole very strategically, that's for sure. Unless you're an incredibly short driver hitter, and I'm not knocking on those who are, but, you know, it just is what it is, right? Yeah, for longer hitters, this will definitely not be a driver hole. I don't care what tee box you're playing from. So, and you're definitely going to want to play something that you can hit a cut with. That's for sure. So, and if you hit that cut, then you're probably only going to want to get a max of about 240 yards down there in order to make that turn and stay in play off the left tree line that kind of wraps around to appear like it's in front of you on the tee box. After that, for your second shot, you're going to have some forced clearance to a green that's going to be downhill from where you'll be standing. So not all that difficult to strike. And yeah, apart from that, not a whole lot to worry about. Green side though, no bunkers. So if you miss it, you're going to be okay pretty well no matter what. But just make sure you put one straight down there, and you've got plenty of backboard support behind the green as well, so you really don't have to worry about missing it long either. Just don't miss it short and fail to clear the rubbish that's right in front of you, posing as the forced clearance, obviously. So I've got the 5-iron in hand. Let's give it a rip, see if I can't hit a little cut, and all I'm hitting is cuts, so it should be pretty easy for me. And yeah, give it a rip and see what we can do. Let's check it out. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 14th hole. Another short par 4 for us, only 313 yards for us, tipping out at only 331. So, and yeah, the tips are the same yardage as 1-up in this case. So really our tee box is really the 1-up tips on this hole, as it has been for several holes on this course. So it is what it is. So quite the jaunt between this hole, number 12 number 13 and number 14, as you watch us drive down to number 14 here, as you'll see. So yeah, take note if you ever go up and play this course of how you actually get to number 14, because it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to drive down this neighborhood road here. Huh, how about that? That's rather unique. And then when you get up to the tee box, you're like, what in the... This tee box is right in someone's backyard. Like, right there. It would be really cool to own that house, just because it's like, all right, after hours and whatnot, when they kind of close up, sneak out there, grab a few sticks, and play the hole, and then walk back on home, right back to my own backyard. Kind of neat. But anyway, yeah, pretty interesting hole, that's for sure. But yeah, so the hole itself here, it's a little bit of a dog leg right as well. You've got a field goal of trees to hit in between, right in front of you. But apart from that, not a whole lot to worry about. You got a bunker right in the middle of the fairway there, so kind of like some Corin Crenshaw business so far as hole design. Kind of rare to find on a lot of courses. And then as you get up to the green, you've got another bunker that's right behind the green, a big one kind of short right, and then another little one short left. So yeah, pretty well guarded green for sure. But yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to be off to the left, and if you just power one dead straight from the angle of the tee box, then you will miss the fairway to the left, but really that'll just be you hitting all the way through the fairway, no doubt. So yeah, if you're gonna pound one, either just skirt the trees, the kind of bushes and trees off to the right side there, and hit a draw, or if you're hitting a fade, no matter what, you're gonna be a-okay. So good news for me on this hole. I'm loving it. So I've got the driver in hand. Let's give it a rip and see what we can do on this kind of crazy and unique par 4. Let's check it out. That's what I'm talking about. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 15th hole and the final par 3 of the day here. So playing for us at 155 yards, although I swear it felt like a lot longer than that from the tee box we were playing from, but tipping out at 195. So, and this being the number 12 handicap on the course. And you know what? I realized I forgot to mention the handicap on the previous hole there, number 14, number 14, which is also coincidentally the number 14 handicap. So, yeah, there you have it. But anyway, so this hole here, yeah, I mean, even downhill, for some reason for me it felt like it played a lot longer than the number. I don't know if there's some dead air on this hole that tends to sit here and it's just, you know, real heavy and smacks your ball down, but I don't know. You know, if anybody out there has played the course, you tell me, throw in the comments, does this hole feel like it plays longer than you think it does, or does it feel to you like it's just, you know, dead on? Because I hit just feeling the hole out, I hit a 9-iron off this, an 8-iron, and I was thinking to myself, okay, well, it just feels that way. I don't know, right? And because 155, even at this altitude, that should be a 9-iron for me. But so I played a club strong and still came up short. So yeah, I don't know what it is about this hole, just weird. And I hit a clean shot too, like real solid, and still came up short, so really weird. I mean, what you see is what you get, though. Only one bunker off there, off to the right, and you'll probably be happy to be in it if you do, just because if that bunker wasn't there, then you'd be rolling into the trees off to the right-hand side, no doubt. And then off to the left, you've got plenty of sideboard support to where if you hit it, that will likely kick your ball softly onto the green. So I'm saying that a draw shape is definitely favorable on this hole to either stab that green or give yourself an opportunity to bounce off the sideboard and then be on the edge of it anyway. So that's what it is. Anyway, I told you the club I got in hand already, the 8-iron. So let's give it a rip. And I already pretty much foreshadowed what I'm going to do on this hole. So let's watch me come up short with that 8-iron. Let's check it out. right, ladies and gents, we made it to the stretch. Here we are heading off to the 16th hole and the final par 5 for the day. A short one at that, playing for us at only 458 yards and tipping out at only 508. And standing as the number 8 handicap on the course. I think that's pretty well ranked. So the hole itself here, pretty straight down really. I mean, it does turn a slight bit to the right down there, but not enough for me to call it a dog leg. It's just generally pretty straight, and it's definitely going to feel straight if you favor the left side, that's for sure. So you've got some you've got a fenced area there off to the right side where it seems like they're growing something. I don't know what it is, but that's what you're dealing with off to the right side there, plus the tree line. Of course, you also have tree line off to the left, but you also have the adjacent hole for a fair ways of it down there, which is the previous hole that we just showed, that little par 3. So if you snap hook one down there, then you'll probably be able to find your ball on the previous hole, that being number 15. But once you clear that distance, then, well, now you're in the heavy trees off to the left. So you've got that. As you come up to the green, though, just really nothing to worry about. No bunkers of any sorts. It's just a nice green, kind of on a plateau, but that's about it. And definitely this hole here, from where you'll see my second shot here, was one of the best 2 irons I think I had ever hit up to this point. So very happy about that. Anyway, let's give it a rip, drive a right hand here, and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading to number 17. So just a 305-yard par 4 for us here, tipping out at only 327, and standing as the number 4 handicap on this course. Now, to me, like I mentioned before on number 12, I think that these two ought to be switched, that this is probably the number 2 handicap, but that's just me. That said, it is a pretty short par 4, but again, a very strategic one, as it's now a pretty hard dog leg left, and definitely takes driver out of play, since, good luck trying to clear all that with off to the left and get on the green in one, because again, those trees are likely too tall, and even at that, if you do clear them, because I could see one being able to clear those trees off to the left here, but if you do, good luck actually hitting the green, because you're going to have no idea where your ball went once it passes that tree line. So this is kind of an iron it to death hole as well. So, downhill out in front of you there. Certainly long enough for me to hit my 4-iron, which is what I've got in hand, even from this tee box here. But, very narrow. You can't miss hard left or that ball's gone. You can miss right a little bit, but then you're going to be in the tree line. So, you really want to hit your fairway finder shot on this hole, that's for sure. After that, you're going to, kind of similar to number 13, you're going to have a downhill shot at the green with some forced clearance to deal with. Apart from that, no bunkers, so you can miss it long, you can miss it left, you can miss it right. You just really can't miss it short. So take heed of that. And a nice big green to attack too, so that should add some confidence to you. So apart from that, just take heed of how downhill it is, and yeah, maybe laser it if you got a laser rangefinder, but it's probably about a 5 to 10 yard hill downhill there. So yeah, whatever yardage you figure it is, I'd take out, maybe 5 yards off of it, just to select the right club. Take too much off of it, you're going to end up way down there in the weeds, and of course you don't want that. So yeah, without further ado, like I said, I got the 4-iron in hand, and then just try to hit a cut up over the left side, as I can definitely get my 4-iron up that high early. And float it down there somewhere in the short stuff. Well, at least the fairway length. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to big number 18. Well, not really that big, I should say. It's only a 279-yard par 4 for us, tipping out a 291. But it is uphill pretty much the whole way, and a modestly hard dogleg right at that as well. So, what it lacks in distance, it kind of makes up for in the slope of the hole itself. And the fact that it kind of darts off to the right once you get up there to the hole. So naturally, a fade is definitely what you're going to want on this hole. Any kind of draw is likely just going to put you in a position that'll make this hole unnecessarily longer than it has to be. Let's see here. That aside, it is fairly well guarded by bunkers once you get up there to the green. You've got 4 bunkers to deal with, one of them short that is definitely reachable off the tee box. And, well, you'll see why I say that. But anyway, a big one up there off to the right side of the fairway just as you approach the green. And then another bunker just past that that's kind of short right green side. And then another one short left green side. And then another little bunker kind of long and a bit to the right of the green. So, a whole lot of bunker trouble to deal with up there. But apart from that, not a whole lot to deal with outside of course, as is the theme of this entire course, tree lined on both sides. So, Yep, I've got the driver in hand. I'm hitting cuts, so I'm loving it. I'm just going to relax, grip it, take a nice big long swing and rip it, and see if I can't put it somewhere way down this fairway. So, let's give it a rip and see what we can do. Oh, and if you're liking this content, again, smash that like and subscribe button. We'd love to see you back. And of course, I do giveaways on this channel if this is the first video that you're watching. So I'm going to be doing hats until 1,000 for every 100 subscribers that we get. And then after that, shirts. And then after that, I'm pretty well, I think, set on golf bags. I just haven't gotten set on the brand yet once we get to 10,000 subscribers. So anyway, now, without further ado, let's give it a rip and see what we can do on this final hole. And again, thanks for watching. And as always, have a great day.